Hello, my friends. Perlo Wisdom here as we continue with our puck preview of each NHL team from Puckin' Deep and R&J Media. My new show's coming up here soon. Hopefully, they're going to get it under the wire where I can get on my website and all of those things that I'm setting up for you. We're going to be looking at the Dallas Stars today. My good buddy Matt Robinson from the Ice Guys. The Ice Guys, the best betting podcast in North America, voted last year. I'm on there Monday and Wednesdays, and Matt Robinson is on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Awesome handicapper. He's a huge Dallas Stars fan. We're going to look at the Dallas Stars today, what I project they may do in the regular season, and maybe in the playoffs as well. Go check me out at Perlo's NHL POW. You hit the community link that I have there on my Twitter at Perlo's NHL POW, and you can get in. The first 50 people this year to sign up will be getting $20 a month on my website for NHL picks. I was up well over 300 units last year. Easy money. It's fun. That's the reason why I do it so cheap, because I just want it to be fun, make a little extra scratch. And I'm going to give a lot of it away too. So come on and join me at Perlo's NHL POW. All right, let's look at the Dallas Stars here, shall we? All right, we look at the top line. By the way, we have a new coach here in Gullickson, who was a coach of the Dallas Stars at one time, coached in Calgary as well. This young man keeps on coming back, and I think he's a good coach. He's a guy who likes his defense. I'll tell you that right now. So these players better be prepared to play a good defensive game. And on that note, we'll start with the top line as it stands right now on Puckpedia. Jason Robertson, who's up for a big raise next year, and there's lots of talk of whether he'll get signed or not. I can't see them not signing him. The guy, he plays against top competition. He's one of the best three-zone defensive players in the game. He has got lower minutes, more like second line minutes for Dallas, but they have a tendency, or they have had in the past anyways, we'll see what the new coach does, to spread everything out in their lineup. I think he's going to get a little more this year. I would really highly suggest you look at Jason Robertson to score 40 goals, possibly. Sign him up for that. I think you can get it at like plus 170 or something like that. Throw a bunch on that. But with Roope Hintz playing in the middle, a lot of people say he's not a number one center. Again, he's a very good defensive center. He's not elite, as people say, but his offensive skills are through the roof. Struggled with some injuries last year, but still pulled off 67 points in 76 games. He plays against top competition. When I say that, I'm taking that off of JFresh Analytics. Both Robertson and Hintz and the next guy we're talking to are quite often used against other players' top lines, quite a bit. So they're excellent. And you bring in Rantanen, both Finns, see if they get some chemistry together. The one thing about Mikko Rantanen is, as much as he is an elite offensive producer, he's a high-risk offensive producer. He really blows the zone a lot. I believe, anyways, I heard rumblings that he wasn't a fan of Brindamore's system there. And I wouldn't be surprised, because he just won't settle for anything less than defensive play. And Mikko Rantanen is a guy who likes to play. He likes to blow the zone. He likes to take high-risk offensive chances that can lead to him not being able to get back to his spots and all of that. But if he's playing with Hintz and Robertson, I'm pretty sure they'll let it slide a little bit. The guy's just too good offensively. I don't think you're ever going to see him get 100 points again, though. There's a take for you. I don't think you're going to see him get 100 points again. We'll see if I'm wrong. But that being a top line, there's nothing wrong with that, man. That's a solid top line. Which brings you to the second line. Sam Steele, Matt Duchene, and Tyler Seguin. Now, Jamie Benn is going to be in this spot, I imagine, later. I don't know, man. Jamie Ben has been slipping a bit. He still performed well in the regular season last year, but he looked burnt out come playoffs. And so did Tyler Seguin, actually. Matt Duchene as well. I called them the geriatric trio. I took the Oilers over Dallas last year simply because of those three players. But in the regular season, Matt Duchene is damn good. At $4.5 million a year, he gets 82 points in 82 games. He drives play maybe better than he gets credit for, actually. He's a fantastic offensive play driver. Still, again, one of these guys that's never been known for his defensive awareness, and he's not very good at it. Tyler Seguin, a little more, but not great. And Sam Steele's going to get a chance here because he really had a great year last year. I think they're hoping that he's a late bloomer, drafted in the late first round by Anaheim Ducks about 6-7 years ago. And it's taken him a while to find his stride. But last year, especially in the playoffs, he did look really good. That being said, this is going to be a big jump for him. He's not used to playing against top-end competition. And he's going to have a chance to do so here. It should be good enough, especially in the regular season. This line should be good enough. Sam Steele goes out and gives it his best effort every time he gets on the ice. Probably won't get much for power play or penalty kill minutes. Just play him 5-on-5. Find your spots with Duchene and Seguin, and pull out some points as you can. Grind out in the corners as much as you can. All of those sort of things that players like him need to be. Just try to be the best complementary player you can be for that line. Yeah, Tyler Seguin. Actually, Tyler Seguin, now that I look at it, I wanted to take a peek. He didn't play against super top competition last year. He did have one of the better defensive years, but that's probably why. They kind of kept him away from... He was only played 55% above replacement for competition last year. This year, he's going to have to do more, especially without Ben in the lineup. So we'll see how that turns out. But it's not a bad second line. You could have worse second lines than that, that's for sure. Which brings us to the third line. And here we have Wyatt Johnston. I imagine he's down here to be able to bring offense to Faxa and Maverick Bourque. They like to play him down here a lot and then play him on the power play because he is awesome defensively. He is so good. If they are planning on, I guess it won't be a trade now with Jason Robertson because unlikely, unless they do something crazy and trade him in the season and get a really good package for him, which isn't impossible, I guess. Wyatt Johnston could take that spot. And if you get a really good package for him, I don't know. I love Jason Robertson. It's going to have to be something beautiful. And he's going to have to accept be able to sign a contract with whatever team he goes to. That being said, I wouldn't do it. You got an older Matt Duchene. Seguin's getting up there. Matt Duchene's 34. Wyatt Johnston's just chomping at the bit to get on that second line. So here he's going to be playing with Radek Faxa, who really had not a great year in St. Louis last year. This is a guy, I mean, it seems like the only place this guy can play is Dallas. He should be a fourth liner, not a third liner, but really, who do they have to replace him right now? I don't see too many players that can come up and take a spot. That Justin Herkowian had a really good year in the AHL, but they're sending him down already this year. So And that's with Radek Faksa as a third line center. So they're not too confident in him in the bottom six. Maverick Bork just got his feet wet a bit last year. These are the thing with the Dallas Stars is they have these guys like Maverick Bork where you look at their underlying analytics and you go, I don't know. But I don't know how many times I've said that, and then all of a sudden they just take off. And that could be the case with Maverick Bork. He's got a lot of speed. He had a pretty decent year last year. I think he was a rookie last year. Not bad at all. Certainly got a lot better. He improved greatly, so he could very well do that again this year. And they better hope so, because with Radek Faksa in the middle here, this isn't really looking too good, to tell you the honest truth. Faksa is a great face-off guy, but his overall game doesn't have very much offense at all. He's good defensively in the right spots if he's not playing against too high a competition, but he might have to here. So, a little shaky. And I don't know how many times I've said this about the Dallas Stars. A little shaky, and then all of a sudden, boom, something happens. That Herkashian kid, that Herkalian kid, please, if I'm saying it wrong, comes up and smokes or something like that, or some player surprises you that you didn't see coming and they look fine. So I'm not going to sell them short when it comes to prospects. They have been absolutely beastly at prospects like Jason Robertson, Wyatt Johnston. They never seem to be able to. It seems like an endless ocean of picks, even when you think there's nothing there. Fourth line, Colin Blackwell, Oscar Bach, and Nathan Bastian. It's a fourth line. It's what it is. It's not fantastic, but Oscar Bach is actually really good defensively for a young guy. Very responsible defensively. Colin Blackwell, put him against guy. He's a small guy that just plays hard. He's one of those guys that can just surprise you every once in a while with a move to the net. He's been around for a while. He's not afraid to go to the dirty areas for a little guy. He will get there and grind it out with you in all areas of the ice, and that's what you want for a fourth liner. He's got courage, and it lifts people up to see a guy play like that. Nathan Bastian, he's about as fourth line as you can get. Again, good defensively, and as for a fourth line, if you can get offensive faceoffs and you can keep it in the other zone, in the offensive zone, but if you happen to get burnt and you're all good defensively, that's kind of what you want in a fourth line. So I don't mind this lineup at all. There's some chinks in the armor that I'm a little concerned about as far as forwards are concerned. But I've said that before about Dallas, and it turns out all right. So defensively, the top three on as far as defense is concerned, defensemen, their top three is Esa Lindell, Heiskanen, and Harley. I don't need to go too far into this. Esa Lindell is just an awesome defenseman. He actually drives offense better than people that give him credit for. He's not the most offensively gifted, but he's got a big shot and he fixes spots. He can put up, 26, maybe even 30 points in a season. And he's one of those defensemen that blocks a lot of shots and is good defensively. I know that sounds weird. You think, well, if a guy blocks a lot of shots, isn't he good defensively? Not necessarily. A lot of times the guys that block a lot of shots is because they're out of position in the defensive zone and they spend too much time there. So they're scrambling all over the place. That's not the case with Lindell. Lindell knows how to get into spots, and if things start going awry, he knows how to be in position for blocks. He's fantastic. I love him. And Miro Heiskanen, please don't get injured again. I mean, they just can't live without this guy if they want to win a cup. He's got to be healthy, man. Beautiful skater, one of the smartest defensemen in the league. He's so simple. That's the thing about Miro Heiskanen's game. He doesn't do anything overly flashy, but he's always in the right spot. He takes pucks away from people just like so easy. He reminds me of Slave in that way, but he's better offensively. And he's just a beautiful player to watch. If you are a purist NHLer and you love that solid defensive defenseman that can skate well, put up points, beautiful passer, all of those sort of things like that, but plays a very selfless game. Miro Heiskanen is up there with some of the best ever. He's fantastic. Thomas Harley, still not bad defensively. Thomas Harley, but his offense is just amazing. His shot from the point is beautiful. Just friggin' awesome shot from the point. Whether it's just finding ways to get it through for tips or a big bomb, Thomas Harley is awesome. And he came out of nowhere. He's, again, one of those guys where I think last year you were looking at the defense and going, I don't know. And then all of a sudden he comes up and he's just unbelievable. They're just fantastic at finding these guys. That top three is some of the best in the league. Maybe the best in the league, actually. After that, though, it goes a little bit south. Nils Lundqvist now will be playing on the right side. And I don't know, this kid just hasn't been able to find his way. He makes really poor plays a lot. He overcommits in the offensive zone quite a bit. He gets himself caught out of position, takes bad penalties doing so. All of these things. He's only 25. He's got all the tools. If you see him if you see him in practice and on ice, he's a nice skater. He's a good skater. He's got good passing ability. I mean, he's a pretty slick offensive player, but man, he gets caught all over the ice sometimes. In the defensive zone, he gets outmatched quite a bit. And for a guy who's great with the stick, he's not great at getting pucks off people's sticks in the corners and stuff like that. Not a good combination when you're also overmatched physically. Positionally, through the neutral zone and stuff like that, oddly enough, when he's not overcommitting, he's pretty good. But we'll see how this turns out. They're putting a lot of faith in Nils Lundqvist here in this spot. I'd much rather see him down in the third position, and maybe that's where he'll be third pair, and maybe that's where he'll be because they have Ilya Lyabushkin, who you don't really want in your second pair either, but at this point, at least he can be decent defensively. You don't want to play him against top competition too much. What I'm trying to say is they're pretty weak on the right side still. They were weak on there last year, and they're weak this year as well. Lion Bichel, lefty, probably going to be a very good defenseman. He's got a boomer shot, just fucking huge, and he can smoke people. He's a big boy, not afraid of anybody. Once he gets it all together, it looks like he's going to be a really good defensive defenseman. How high up the lineup? I wouldn't be surprised if he's second pairing defenseman somewhere along the way. At this point, though, he's a little raw. They're going to keep on using him here. He did improve throughout the year last year, so as long as he's still improving at 21 years old, I think by the time he's 23, 24, you're going to see him up in that second pair spot and being very, very good. But right now, this is probably where he should be. Then you got Jake Ottinger, of course. Excellent goaltender. He's had some issues. Every once in a while, he seems like he gets a little bit of a lagginess to him where maybe out of focus or stuff like that. But I don't think that you're going it's all going up from here. He's getting at 27 now. He's about 27 years old. Starting to hit his peak for goaltenders. Who knows? He could have a Vezina somewhere along the line here. I wouldn't be surprised. He's damn good. And then Casey DeSmith, your backup's backup. He's basically what a backup was always meant to be. He progressed. He'll give you yours 0.915, 0.259, or 2.6, 0.95 save percentage to 0.915. You can be pretty confident that Casey DeSmith is going to give you a good enough game most of the time. So, yeah, it's a little lighter lineup. I do believe they do have a little bit of cap space, about $3 million. And this year is a year where you can send people down and build up cap space for hopefully eventually filling up that right spot. My projection, I think they're going to be about third in the Central. And the reason why I say that is because I think Minnesota's going to go balls out this year and then fade in the playoffs. And I think teams like Dallas have got to learn that there's days when you don't need to go balls out. Dallas has the worst travel schedule of any team in the NHL. And I think if there's one thing that they need to learn is when you're playing against really poor players, just play a perimeter game. Don't engage so much physically all the time. That's what Florida does, Tampa Bay does. A lot of teams have realized that it's a marathon, not a sprint. And I'm hoping Gulutzan knows that. Glenn Gulutzan, their head coach, was head coach of the Calgary Flames. He's been around for a while. He's been an assistant in a few places. I want to say Colorado, but he's learned from some great coaches. And hopefully he has learned as well. Let's get out early, get ourselves some breathing room out there. And if you're banged up, sit a little bit. Don't kill yourself. You're playing like the San Jose Sharks, or this year the Boston Bruins. You don't have to go out and beat them 5-1. Go out and just play a perimeter game. Keep it simple. Nobody gets hurt. Move on. Take some rests out there. And I think that might happen here. And that's why I think that it's possible they go third. I wouldn't even doubt it. I'm thinking about putting a little bit on Minnesota to win the division. And that doesn't mean that I think Minnesota is a great team, or a better team than Dallas, or a better team than Colorado. I just think that Minnesota is not the type of team that can do anything but play balls out, defensive hockey, grinded out games, and they have enough talent to do that and win a lot. So, and not to mention, they're the type of team, by the time they get close, they're thinking, oh, okay, if we win the division, then we play a much weaker team and get to the second round. We'll see what happens. Where teams like Colorado and Dallas should have learned by now that it don't matter where you finish in the division. What matters is how much energy you got when you're starting out. How much do you have in the tank? The more you can bank that tank time for the playoffs, the better you're going to be. Better than winning a freaking division. All right, boys and girls, that's my full 42. Matt Robinson, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm sure you're going to have lots to say because you love your Dallas Stars. You're going to tell me something. You're going to say something. Oh, you're not giving enough credit to blah, blah, blah. Probably. Anyways, love you, bro. Love all of you out there. Check me out at Perlo's NHL POW on Twitter, where you can get... you can be part of my community, and when my new website is going to be up for Puckin' Deep, you can get in on my monthly package. For the first 50 people that subscribe for my monthly package are only going to be $20 a month. That's freaking silly. It's going to go up after that. I'll tell you that right now. But it's just, we're having fun, right? So we don't want to be throwing all our money at everything. Just want to have some fun. I think I'm going to probably give it to charity or something like that. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. But catch you in the regular season. Thanks for listening, everybody. That's my full 42K.